Hi and welcome back to my channel, Tare Bear Budgets. My name is Taryn and my husband and I are on a financial journey which includes becoming debt-free and achieving the financial freedom we both want. If you are interested in learning more about zero-based budgeting, cash envelopes, and sinking funds, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into it. I am going to be creating my May budget calendar. I am working on closing out my April budget and starting my May this week, since my April 28th check will actually be my May income. Okay, so I do use the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. I do love that each book has a little quote. Never allow someone to tell you what you can't do. Oh no, that's not what it says. Never allow someone to tell you that you can't do it. Use their negativity as fuel to prove them wrong. By the Budget Mom. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the calendar. They come undated, and also the days are not there. So some people prefer a Sunday start date or Monday. I do Monday, so that this is my work week and then this is my weekend. So if we're doing something for the weekend, I can add stickers or illustrations or whatnot on the weekend block. So I want to say that May starts on a Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and at least write the days. I don't have a lot of fancy planner stickers. I have some that I use specifically for my budgeting, things that are budget related, but I just handwrite pretty much everything and that works for me. I would love to do the stickers, but it's just a cost I'm not willing to add at the moment. Okay, so I have my month set up. May does have 31 days, so we are set. So what I like to do first is I like to mark the days that we get paid. And we do get 4 checks a month. I get 2, my husband gets 2. And I use the highlighter method. My favorite highlighters are by Zebra, the midliners. I will link those in the comments. So I use the purple and pink for my paychecks, and I use the light gray and blue for my husband's. So I, again, like I said, use the end of April's pay for May income. Okay, so I just kind of make myself a little key. So mine is normally the 30th, but since the 30th is a weekend for April, I'm getting it April 28th. But I'm just going to go ahead and put the 30th, the 6th, the 15th, and the 21st. So pretty much, let's see. So I'm going to just list my payday is here on the 1st, because normally I have room to show the previous month, but not this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just put, payday here. So interestingly enough, normally we see a check every week, but May looks like it's going to be a little bit different. We'll get this check the 28th of April, which will last us this whole week. Then this check will take us this whole week. This check might even come a little earlier because it lands on a Monday, so I'm not quite sure. I'd have to actually look into that. But that covers us this week, and then this one covers us this week. And then the 30th would be for the next month. So it's still almost once a week, but it's definitely the 4 checks. So let me go ahead and highlight. Another reason why I love these highlighters so much is I can use them fairly quickly, after writing. Okay. All right. So those are the paydays. So then what I do is I need to list our fixed expenses that I know are going to be going out of our account on their respective due date. I don't necessarily put the amount here. Some people do. They'll put, you know, the bill and then the amount. I just list the bill. I have an actual breakdown that I use like on my tablet that I will reference to for amounts if needed. So I'm not really worried about writing the amount here. So let me go ahead and add our fixed expenses. I will say that for like mortgage, I will use my paychecks because we are a month ahead. So I take half from this paycheck and half from this paycheck, and I throw it into a savings account, and then I bring it back into my account for the month that they're going to withdraw the mortgage from. But that way, whatever bills are due within this current time frame can be covered by this check. So I do split it. Okay, so I think we are good. These are our fixed expenses. Some of these, like our sleep number, the TRD, the Riker, those are our, oh, and the diamond. The diamond, yes, that's a whole other video. But definitely it was time. And these are our only debt that we have other than our mortgage. And we are getting a pretty good return, tax return, because we put solar, which is this, Sonova, on our home, and we are getting a significant amount back for, you know, adding the solar to the house. I don't even know what that is called at this moment in time, but we are going to use that to pay off 2 out of 4 of these. So I am thinking we're going to pay off the ring and the Riker, or the ring and sleep number, either way. And then what we have been paying towards these 2, I'm gonna roll over and put it all the way to another one. So like, for example, whatever we were using for these 2, in addition to what we were already paying for the Riker, is all going to go to the Riker, and that should be paid off very quick. We owe very minimal on that. Then I'll take whatever we had for those 3 and roll it over to paying off the TRD. My husband had a very old car for many, many, many years, and when he promoted to manager, we went ahead and got him reliable transportation. So I felt that was a need because he needs reliable transportation to keep his new promotion. So that was a hard decision to make, but also an easy decision to make. Go figure. So now what I do is I take my highlighter for that first check, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight the things that that check is going to pay. So that's how I set up the fixed expenses. I also like to add to my calendar things that are kind of outside of that, things that I know are going to occur, whether it's a holiday, a special event, vacation, or let's say car registration is due. I like to list that here too because I know those are upcoming expenses. So I'm going to go ahead, and here it's my daughter's birthday. Orange is her favorite color, so I went ahead and used that. So I will put Sky's B-Day. Yes, she's a Cinco de Mayo baby. So we are going to pull from our birthday sinking fund to enjoy dinner as a family, and then whatever is left over in terms of cash, I'm just going to give it to her as her birthday because when they get older, that seems to be all they want. So don't have to wrap or anything like that. I'm just going to hand her the money. And then we will be with family here. I'm not going to put that because there's not much of an expense. We're just gathering, and if we do wind up bringing anything, it might be kind of potluck style. So I'm not expecting that to cost us too much money, other than gas, which we will just use our gas cash envelope for. Forgive me, I can't speak right now. So other than that, oh, I do have something due. AAA. Yes, on the 22nd. I'm glad I remembered. Our AAA is going to be auto-deducted And I'm going to go ahead and put the amount there because that's not something I have like in my mind. So I need to prepare for that. So let me give that a, I don't know, let's see. We will go ahead and mark it red. Okay, so I'm going to add that to my little key over here. So this will be, I'm going to write bills, and then this will be like events. Okay. So I don't have, like I have my car sinking fund. I could pull from that and pay for AAA, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is utilize our paychecks. So whatever's left over after we pay our fixed expenses, and I cash stuff our variable expenses like groceries and gas and things like that, I will actually start paying that with this check. So I will set money aside on this check, this check, this check, and this check to cover this. So as long as you know what is going to be coming in the future, which is why it's really important to spend time with your budget, know what your bills are, also work to minimize or lower if possible. This is one of those reasons. Like I'm anticipating this, so I'm going to be prepared for it. Again, if I wanted to, I could just pull from our car sinking fund and pay for it and then just replenish our car sinking fund, but I'm going to choose not to do that. I'm just going to put a little bit from all 4 checks to cover that amount. Okay, and then I'm going to set up for this first check. So my check is going to be $2,329, but I'm not done, and I'm not going to do this yet because I actually did sell, see, on Facebook Marketplace, because I know, and I'm going to write this. Let me see if I can reach my pencil. Sorry, keyboard out of the way. I'm going to write it in pencil because it might change. I actually sold $310 worth of stuff, but I have other things listed. So if I happen to sell any more, that might change. So I'm going to count that as part of my income, and I will budget with that. So what I like about this is obviously this is a place for our income. We list all of our fixed expenses here, the date that they're going to come out, what we budget. So basically you want your budget variance. That's what this is. So let's say the bill's normally like 43 something. I might put 44, I might even put 45. And then once it comes out, you want to write the actual. I like to over budget because I want to make sure I have enough, and anything that's left over just goes to my checking account cushion. These are our weekly cash envelopes. So this is where you will see like my gas, food, beauty, home, etc. Sinking funds, those are our like short-term and long-term savings goals. So you might see like birthday and Christmas and Halloween, or our pet sinking fund, or our car maintenance or home maintenance, or things like that. I will list there. Another thing I like about this is if I'm going to pay extra towards our debt, any extra savings, you can list here. And then it also gives you a sheet where you can do your, cash denomination breakdown for your cash envelopes. So I really like this system. I have used her systems, but the Budget Mom system, since 2020. I was able to pay off all of our credit card debt, $20,000 in 10 months. And so the only remaining debt now are the things that I discussed earlier in this video, which I will do a whole separate video on. But if you did enjoy this content and you want to see future videos talking about how I set up my budget, what a zero-based budget has done for us, how we cash stuff, like how we determined what envelopes we needed to create, our sinking funds, and everything like that, I would encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do try to post a video 1 a week. I don't know if I'll be able to post more than that. I will try to make each video filled with the appropriate content that you're looking for. And if you have any suggestions, please go ahead and put those in the comments. I do work a full-time job. I do have 3 kids. They do homeschool, so I do the best that I can. But I am super passionate about zero-based budgeting, cash envelopes, sinking funds. They literally saved my life. I cannot stress that enough. I was so stressed out. I was afraid to open my checking account. I shied away from even facing our expenses, our bills, our, income. It was just awful. And finally, I said enough was enough. I purchased her workbook, started watching all of the Budget Moms, YouTube videos, all of her Instagram reels, all her little highlight bubbles, and quite literally, she saved my life. I now sit with my budget every single day for at least like 10-15 minutes. This is not an inconvenience. I 100% look forward to it. That's how I start my day, my cup of coffee and my budget. And it just gives me this peace of mind and this financial freedom that, my husband and I are trying to achieve. And I think for the most part, we have that. But again, we have other goals that we want to try to meet. And sometimes that just involves using a budget. And sometimes that also involves finding alternate sources of income, hence why we sell things on Facebook Marketplace. It's not always an income issue. We definitely had enough income, whereas I thought we didn't, but we did. It was finding out your triggers, where you were spending money that you shouldn't be spending, how to avoid that, etc. And it turned out we actually had enough to pay everything, keep food on the table, and also save for the things that mean the most to us. So, sorry to ramble. I am going to stop this video now. But if you are interested in this content, go ahead and please subscribe. And if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions for any future videos or content, please go ahead and leave that in the comments, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.